Sorry for texting you while you're at work, Harper. I hope this is okay right now.
You're fine right now. I'm just getting ready to have lunch and everything. What's up? You want to ask me something? I've never been asked anything by you before, Parker. You must really need my help then.
Well, I have something to ask regarding Ashley.
Ashley? Is this something about the two of you getting into a fight again?
I don't think it's gotten as far as a full-blown fight or anything.
What does that even mean? What the hell happened?
Well, I think you know that Ashley has quite a sense for a particular fashion, right?
Do you mean that she really likes wearing flashy clothing? I've always thought she looked great always dressing up that much. It matches her personality really well.
Well, I'm sure from your point of view she looks great and all. And trust me, I like the way she looks in all that clothing as well. But that kind of fashion costs a lot of money. Things are starting to become tight.
Is that so? But when I had spoken to Ashley before, she told me that you guys were doing all right and that she was fine with the clothing that she already had. I don't think she ever acted like she was always going out to buy new things all the time for herself.
Well, that's just her talking about the clothes. When you add in the cost of all the hair and skin treatments she gets, and her trips to get her nails and makeup done, it all begins to really add up. And she's also buying all these special diet kits that cost a bunch of money.
Well, it is said that us women cost a lot more money than men. How about you just accept that this is all a part of who she is? I mean, you can ask my husband and he'll tell you the same thing about how much my beauty and health products all cost.
Well, the problem is that she's spending way too much on all of this, and it's going to be a problem for me. It's because of her that every month I'm going into debt paying for other things that we need to live.
I see. That amount of spending definitely is a problem then. Although I don't think she should be going to the salon every month, right?
Well, she's different than most women. Of course, if I was making just a bit more every month, I'd be fine with her spending all she wants, but I really don't have that kind of money. I even asked her before that I want us to take a break on spending for a little while to save up money. But I could see she didn't really catch what I meant by that.
Who's the one in charge of paying the bills every month?
I've noticed that she doesn't understand how much she's spending, so I've been the one in charge of the money.
Well, if that's the case, then you should be able to control how much she's allowed to spend, right? You know, give her an allowance every month and tell her that's all she gets.
Yes, but I'm also giving her money to go out and eat and for other things in the house. But every month she's telling me that I'm not giving her enough, and I end up having to give her more. I've warned her multiple times now that I can't keep giving more and more away to her. But she'll just get into these childish moods, and we'll end up not even doing chores or cooking until I give her the money.
Well, that's not very good at all, huh? Wait, is Ashley working her own part-time job now as well?
Well, if she was working her own job, we wouldn't be having this problem right now. I never thought while dating her that she turned out to be this much of a spender. If this were going to be the case for us as a couple, I never would have married her.
And it's only been a year now since you two got married, right? This didn't all just happen overnight, right?
I know. I started to notice all of this about 6 months ago. Since then, I've been trying to help the situation by using some of the money from my savings account and all. But now, I don't really have any money left in my savings. So, I've had to start using multiple credit cards that I carry to be able to keep us from going under.
You've had to give up that much? You really dug yourself a hole by using up all that money as well.
Harper, I plan to stop giving her any more money. But during this time, I'd like your help dealing with her. Right now, it's just too much for only me to handle. And I really don't have any more money this month.
Do you need some money from me?
Yes, please. At least to start, can you give me $500?
$500, huh? All right, that's fine.
Really?
You're in trouble, correct? And also, it's rare that you ever come to me for anything anymore. But I'm going to have to tell my husband about this, okay? I'll have to give up some money from our account, so he needs to know or else we'll both get in trouble.
All right, you can go ahead and do that. Thank you so much, Harper. Ashley's parents aren't around anymore for me to get help from. If I ask Mom and Dad about this, they might start to change their minds about her.
Well, you have a good point.
Mom would probably tell me to divorce her or something. And she might even take things into her own hands and confront Ashley about all of this. So I had to come to you because I know you won't act crazy about all of it.
But if Ashley continues to spend like she is now, you might actually have to start thinking about divorce, okay?
I know that, but I don't have any other complaints about her. So as long as we can fix her spending issues, she'll be perfect for me. I love spending time with her now, and her cooking is delicious. She's even really good at taking care of the chores while I'm at work, and we just mesh so well. I've really been wishing that I just made enough to allow her to spend as much as she does now. Maybe even then, she'd only begin to spend more money, and I'd be having the same problem again.
Well then, I hope you can fix this issue you both are having. I'm sure this will all be tough for you, but you have to talk with her again about this. And if she still doesn't manage to understand the problem, you might have to really think of your other options.
Yes, I know. When that time comes, I'll make sure to be prepared for it. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to keep you updated about all of this. I'm sorry, Harper. Do you think you could give me $1,000?
Wait, $1,000? Does this still have to do with Ashley? Didn't I tell you to talk with her in person last month? I said that by confronting her again about her spending would help the situation, right?
Well, I listened to what you told me back then, but it looked like she was using our credit card.
And what did Ashley end up saying?
Well, she started out by apologizing to me, but I might have been too strong in what I was saying to her, and now she's locked herself in the bedroom.
I think your best bet is to get that credit card away from her.
Yeah, and that's what I'm planning to do soon. But I'm going to have to pay off all the money she spent on that card, and this month I'm going to be $1,000 short.
All right, I'll give you the $1,000. But don't you think Ashley's acting a bit strange about all of this? Maybe you could say she's mentally ill or something like that.
Mentally ill?
Some people say that you can become addicted to spending money like that. Like a compulsive spending disorder. When you first told her to stop, she said she understood you, right? But she's still going at it right now, right? Why don't you take her to go see a therapist or someone that can check to see if she's all right? I've heard that lots of women suffer from this sort of disorder.
No. There's no way that she's sick or anything. I think I've just been a bit too easy on her. And I also think this time I've made my point. I'm sure that she'll soon be able to understand things and stop all of this nonsense.
Now it seems like you're giving in to her spending problems. You know there's something you have to do if she continues this.
Of course. I should probably start thinking about that, huh?
Or you can ask her to start working for her own money. She used to work full-time before you guys got married, right? But you guys decided to have her quit in case she got pregnant or anything like that, right? I think before you guys do anything like that, you should have her start helping with saving money, okay?
I'm really not sure what I should do right now, though. I can't just keep coming back to you for advice and money, right? I have to do something.
Hey, don't tell me that you're having to do something about this means gambling or anything like that, right?
Huh? Gambling?
Well, my husband told me recently that he saw your car parked outside a casino here in town. That you guys were there right next to it waiting in a line to get in.
Is that so?
I assume that was just my husband confusing someone else for you, and that's why I hadn't said anything. But does that seem familiar to you?
I'm sorry. There was one thing I've been hiding from you. Actually, the one gambling has been Ashley. I think when I went there to go and pick her up, your husband saw me in my car.
Ashley's gambling now as well.
Yeah.
Well, with everything else you've told me, and how her gambling as well, I think you should really start looking at other options rather than trusting that things will get better with her.
I was thinking of telling you about this, but I never could.
But the fact that she's gambling, I never even imagined a girl like her doing that sort of thing.
Well, she's not the girl most people think she is.
I know that. But I've had many times where I've talked with her. Her overspending on things and gambling really don't seem to fit her personality at all.
I was surprised by all of this as well.
Hey, I know that we'll all be meeting again at Mom and Dad's soon, right? Do you think during that time we could talk with Ashley again?
Well, about that. Ashley says she doesn't want to come.
Huh? Really?
Ashley knows that I've been borrowing money from you and she doesn't want to be seen by the family right now.
Would it be wrong for me to try and text or call her?
You even know Ashley's number?
No, I don't, but...
Well, then I don't feel comfortable telling you that information.
Well then, could you go and ask her if it's okay for me to know her phone number or maybe even her email?
I don't think she's gonna like that.
But I'm just asking that you ask her one time and see. Please?
Alright, fine. But don't get your hopes up, okay?
I won't. I know that all of this is troubling you a lot, but you have to get this all under control. You might even have to make a choice that you've been avoiding for a long time now. Parker, Where are you right now?
I'm at home. What's wrong?
Your wife just came over to our place drenched in water. What the heck is going on here? She told me that you threw water all over her, and now she's drenched head to toe in freezing cold water.
Harper, run away from her right now. She's very dangerous. You shouldn't believe anything she says to you.
Huh?
I think the reason she's so upset right now is because I've been telling you all about her bad spending habits. So I'm not sure if she's there to do anything harmful to you or not.
Well, that's not what any of this looks like to me, though.
I know that, but you just have to run from her. She was holding scissors when she came at me.
Scissors? When she arrived here, she only came with the clothes on her back. And right now, she's in the bathtub trying to warm herself up. I don't think you need to be that worried about what she's doing. Just let me take care of her now, okay?
No, I'm very worried right now, so I'll be over there in a little bit.
Do not come. I don't care how many times she had been overspending on things. You cannot just throw freezing cold water all over her. I can tell right now that you are not calm enough to come see her, right? So I'm not going to let the two of you see each other at this moment. And if you do still come, I'm not letting you in the house.
But I'm seriously worried about you and your husband.
Have you forgotten that my husband is more than capable of defending us? He's been doing martial arts for years now. He's twice the size of Ashley and probably 3 times as heavy as her. Even if she does manage to cut him, he's not going to just die.
Has Ashley said anything to you guys yet?
I haven't heard the details yet. She just came in telling me that you both got into a fight.
I see. All right. Can you tell Ashley that I'm sorry? Let her know that I want her home soon and that I'll be waiting for her.
I can tell her that. For the time being, I'll let you know if anything else happens.
Harper, the inside of my house is a bit off right now. All of Ashley's things are gone and it's just empty now. Today's the day she was supposed to be coming back, right? Did she say anything else to you? I'm not able to get an answer from her anymore.
Well, if you're worried about Ashley, she's doing just fine.
What does that mean?
You really did a great job keeping things from me. The person splurging all their money putting the house in debt has been you all along, hasn't it?
What are you talking about?
I heard everything from Ashley. Ever since the two of you got married, you've been using a lot of money behind her back. And never once have you left anything for her. And when Ashley tried to help fix things between you two, you run away from her and threaten to post things online about her picking on you. That seems pretty screwed up to me, Parker.
Huh? I'm not doing whatever she's saying to you. I told you before not to believe anything that she says, didn't I? Harper, are you going to believe some crazy woman or your own little brother?
I'm choosing to believe Ashley. She even has evidence that it's been you all along.
What kind of evidence could she possibly have?
Ashley has recorded all of your threats to her and all your fights. But you kept saying you post embarrassing things about her online and stuff, so she never had the ability to do anything about you.
She might have found an AI or something to recreate my voice so that she could take advantage of me.
But even if she's faking all those recordings, things between you two still don't add up. You've been telling me that Ashley's been the one taking money from your savings, so that she can spend more and you can pay the bills. But in reality, it's been you stealing money from Ashley's saving account and using it for your own spending. If you hadn't had as much money in your savings as you said to me, then you would never have needed her money, right?
You can't prove any of that. I know for a fact that Ashley changed after marrying me.
That's right. But she didn't change in the way you did where you started taking her money from her the moment you realized you didn't have enough for your urges.
That's not it. I haven't been doing anything like that.
Parker, I know that for the past few weeks you've been going nonstop to the casino. When we heard about what Ashley was telling us, my husband and I got in the car and drove past there. And what was parked outside the casino all night? Your car. Did you start gambling because the money that Ashley had in her account was all used up by you? Something even more crazy is that whenever you actually win there, you'd watch as you walked over to the bar next door and spend it all on drinks. You really are a good-for-nothing person, aren't you?
You're wrong, Harper. Ever since we got married, I've been asking for Ashley to start saving her money. And because of all that stress of her overspending, started to play slots and such. I'll go out and drink after to try and help deal with my pain as well.
I'm not wrong about one thing, aren't I? You're the one that's been splurging this whole time. Yet you lied to me this whole time saying that it's her fault you never had any money, and had me lend you some of my own. No matter how hard you try and flip the story, you're never going to change the fact that you're awful.
Is Ashley starting to talk about wanting to leave me now? She's not going to regret it, right?
That's what you're worried about now? Well, if you plan to do anything about her leaving you, she says to go right ahead. It's not like she's going to care, and neither will we. We all knew that she would try and plan to threaten her after this, and that's why she's going to take you to court next.
Huh? To court?
Why wouldn't she? You've been the one ruining her life. And so I'd like you to take every bit of responsibility for the horrible things you've done to her while married.
But I'm your little brother, Harper. Don't you think it's terrible to let someone take your own brother to court?
What am I doing that's terrible? Ashley was able to show me all the evidence, and I saw a lot of this myself. If you really want me to trust you after all of this, show me your evidence that she's been taking money from you. You said that last time she spent so much money on the credit card that you needed me to lend you $1,000 to pay the bills, right? I'd like you to show me the credit card bills right now of all on her spending.
I don't know if that'll be shown on the bill.
I know dang well that you can see when and where the card has been used. If you're really having a hard time finding anything, go ahead and call the card company and have them send you a list. But if you can't show me the purchase history of that card, then I'm not going to believe you.
Harper, can you at least stop trying to take me to court? There's no reason to be doing that over something as stupid as all of this.
So does this mean you're going to take responsibility for all that you've done to Ashley? You went and stole from her savings account and used it all on your own. And you threatened her if she tried to do anything about you by making posts about her to try and ruin her image.
I know that I had taken some of her money to spend on my own, but I never wanted to ruin her image in any way. I don't even get how she took all of that as threatening her.
So you're saying that it was her that misunderstood you, saying that you post horrible things about her as a threat. Of course, why would you threaten anyone that was trying to stop you from stealing their money? That would be crazy.
I'm being serious, Harper. I now know that I messed up somewhere along the way, and I'm sorry for that. I promise to not take anything from her again. I'll even delete anything I plan to post that would embarrass her. So please, forgive me for all of this.
I'm never going to forgive you for this. You went and spent a lot of your wife's money and even dragged me and my husband into your problems. What you've done is far beyond being resolved by a simple apology. We're going to make sure you learn a valuable lesson. And that will all start with us never believing another word you say. So, Parker, go ahead and take the rest of today to relax and prepare for tomorrow. Because it'll be the beginning of a new and deserved life for you. After that, my husband and I became the mediators for my sister-in-law in Parker's discussion over divorce and what would happen after that. We made sure that everything my brother had planned to do to Ashley as a threat was erased. But just to make sure that nothing would ever come out of him that might harm Ashley's image, we signed an agreement stating that he would have to pay $1 million in damages to her. Now that we have formal papers helping control the matter, I don't think Parker will ever threaten or harm Ashley in any way if he plans on having any money at all. Of course, we had talked about taking him to court over the first threats he made to Ashley and for him stealing her money. But we assumed that by doing that, he could lose everything he has, including his job. So we stopped any more talk about taking him to court and started discussing things like a settlement after the divorce, which he could pay off little by little every month as he continued to work his butt off for the money. And since he'll still have to pay off the settlement for some time to keep Ashley away from him, he will have to go through me and her parents when he has money to hand over. Because that would become too much of a hassle for Parker, though. He decided to borrow some money from the bank and paid everything off to Ashley in one payment. And to make sure something like this never happens again, whenever my parents or myself hear from him asking for help, we make sure to tell him no, but give him ways to make the money he needs. However, it seems like after the divorce, Parker learned a lot about what he did wrong, and with the regrets that he now has, no longer spends his money recklessly. After a few months has passed, we actually learned from Parker that the only reason he had ever married Ashley in the first place was for her money. And that if it weren't for her having all those savings, he would have never even became interested in the first place. That to me was disgusting to hear from him, and only cemented the fact that I'd never forgive him for any of this. I hope that he'll never act like that ever again, and should be well aware that if he does, there will be nobody there to help him. As for Ashley, after the divorce, she continued to live with my husband and I. And she's now found herself a new job and a place to move into, which she plans on doing starting next month. Of course, we plan to stay in touch with her to make sure everything's okay. And even after that, we hope that she comes to our place every so often to hang out. Things may have seemed terrible before with Parker married to her and never being able to tell the truth, But now that she's in her hands and free, I've never seen her with a bigger smile. You can say that now she's no longer with my brother anymore, she's no longer family. But I take her as my sibling over Parker any day after the events that unfolded. I hope that once she's moved into her new life outside my house, she can live a much more free life without the memories of what Parker did to her in the past.